more than monkey roof. Oh! 1, 2, 3, start happy! Let's go!
Good evening. I'm just going to move this because I don't want to block your view. You know you won't be able to see me. So, a special night tonight. I've got dressed up, I've got my best frock on, I've done my hair, my makeup, matching underwear. Always do matching underwear. Though to be honest, these days it's more likely to have a medical emergency than to get pulled. So, I'm from up north, I'm from a place called Rochdale. Yeah. It's a little village outside Manchester. Yeah, it's rough. And I had an idyllic upbringing, you know, like smoking, drinking, underage sex, you know, just all the normal stuff. And it would have been perfect, but my mum were barking mad. She were absolutely crackers. She were obsessed with the weight, and she were like a yo-yo dieter. I'll give you an example. 1980, she was the North West Slimmer of the Year. 1981, she was Face of Greggs. And it's like, it's funny, but it weren't funny when she started getting obsessed with me. She had me at Weight Watchers when I was 11. I think that's child abuse now. But it weren't that bad really. If I lost weight, we went to Chippy on the way home. But it left me with some issues, you know, kind of, you know, body image and all that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't be seen in a bathing suit for years. I didn't go swimming for years. I mean, it really was a problem. And then a couple of years ago, I thought to myself, do you know something, Deb, you're a grown-up, this is ridiculous. And I went swimming. It was life-changing. It was exhilarating. It was absolutely wonderful. And you know what the best thing were? My tits floated. Well, I know you're looking at me now and you're thinking, what's this old bird doing? But as we get older and we get grey, yeah, I know it's a bit purple or whatever it is at the moment, but as we get grey, we start to get invisible. And I don't want to fade away, I want to go out screaming and shouting. So I set myself challenges. I've wrote a book. I've been on the chase. No, I didn't win, and Bradley Walsh is lovely. I have played live at Glastonbury. I strummed my ukulele in the car park, and I'm having that. But my biggest challenge is I've been married 36 years. I didn't know this until death do us part would last so long. You know. Met and married within a year. He proposed to me at Bobby Ball's nightclub in Rochdale. Got down on one knee in the dance floor and I'm ever so embarrassed. I was shy back then. And I went, oh yeah, go on then. And then I got home and I thought, I'm not having that. He needs teaching. I booked the wedding by Monday. I booked a wedding before he sobered up. Yeah. But we have little names for each other. He calls me Delightful Deborah. Isn't that nice? Delightful Deborah. I call him my sex machine. No, sorry. I call him a fucking tool. But I think he's jealous, you know, because I'm outside my comfort zone. And I think he's jealous and I said, go and do something. He said, I'm going to be a Morris dancer. I thought, crack on with that then, love. So he went down to Village Hall, and old Morris then with her, and he said it was like an interview panel. They were all sat behind a desk, and they were asking him loads of questions. I don't know, do you drink real ale? Are you free bank holiday Mondays? Do you have an anorak? You know, and they let him try the bells on. He did some of this, you know, with bells, and then they let him have the handkerchief. He said he had fantastic wrist action. I'm not surprised there. And then the main man said to him, just one final question. He said, are you circumcised? And my husband said, well, actually, yes, I am. He said, that's it, you're not suitable, you don't fit the criteria, and he shut the book. And my husband was devastated, it had gone all so well. Well, apparently, you have to be a complete prick to be a Morris dancer. But you know, it's when we've been married this long, and you know, there's always something going on. There's always something. And I went to the doctor's the other week and I've got a bit of a sore throat. And as she was looking down your throat, she said, you could do the colonoscopy. I thought, how far down there can she see? So I go to hospital and we're doing the consent form. And he's telling me all the ways I can die. And then he said to me, and you may experience sexual arousal. I thought, I'd give over. So anyway, I signed the form and I'm on the table on my left-hand side and he's got the camera up my bum. Has anyone had a colonoscopy?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Bit of a pain in the arse, isn't it?
It's not sort of thing you go, woo!
Yeah, it weren't fun.
No.
So I'm there on the left-hand side, there's like the monitor there, and I'm thinking, is there going to be an in-flight movie or something? And he's getting ready, he's doing the procedure. Can I just say, I don't like the word procedure, because it makes it sound all civilised. And it should be like, I don't know, an intrusion, an excavation, I mean even mining. So he's got the camera up my bum and having a look, and then he leant over and he said to me, are you alright, love? And I went, yeah. And then I said, I'm not sexually aroused yet. He said, don't worry about it, I am. But I live in a house full of football fans. And every year I pick a team that I support because then it makes it bearable for 90 minutes while we're watching football. So, if I don't do that, I have to sit in the kitchen and watch reruns of Homes Under the Hammer. So, I've had Liverpool in the past. Yeah. Do you know that Klopp never wore the same pair of glasses each week? I had a spreadsheet. He had a different pair of glasses every single week. When he had his eyes lasered, it didn't work for me anymore. And then, and I tried Wrexham, not because of the celebrities and not because of the back-to-back, where how many times they've done. No, I play Deadpool. So I watched the audience. I mean, my PB's 7. And that were really good because 2 of them were in the away end. But this year I'm kind of leaning, and I know I'm in Sheffield, but I'm kind of leaning towards Notts Forest. Yeah, I can't help it. It's ever since we got the new Pope. So I'm going to watch Notts Forest, and every time the manager comes on the screen, I'm going to say, Nuno Espirito Santo. I'm glad I got that right. But when I first met my husband, he had a narrow waist and a broad mind. I mean, things have really changed. But just recently, he's kind of got socially aware. He's like ranting at the government, and he feels that they've stolen off him. And what it is they've reduced the units of alcohol from 21 to 14. And my husband's done the maths. That's 7 units a week, 350 a year. That's 70 pints they've stole off him. And he's absolutely livid. He is absolutely livid. He's joined a protest group, and it's called Men Against Restricted Drinking Institute, MARDI for short. And all them MARDI men, they're going to march down to number 10 and demand that they give them back what's been stolen. And you know what, I kind of feel like, I'm glad he's fighting for something, I'm glad he's got a cause, but then I found out the real reason. You're not ticked him off, you're not pushed him over the edge. He was saving them 70 pies for a stag do in Benidorm. But I've got children, I've got 2 girls, I gave birth naturally. If anyone's, always give birth naturally if you can. But when you leave the hospital, make sure you get a credit note. Because when that lovely little baby turns into a teenager, you'll need to go back to get the anaesthetic to lower the pain. And my girls were awful, absolutely awful. There were late night parties, drinking, drugs. And that was just me to get through their teenage years. But now they've got children of their own and they've got teenagers. And you know what that's called? Payback. But I called round at my daughter's on the way in, just to say hello, and she was screaming and shouting at one of the grandchildren, and for her to clean the bedroom, granddaughter runs upstairs slamming doors, And then she's back down in 5 minutes. I thought, she's not done that room in 5 minutes. So I go upstairs and it's all done. I thought, wow. Then I see she's stuck everything under the bed. Everything's under the bed. I thought, her mother will go mental. So I'm on my hands and knees and I'm pulling things out. And there's a bottle of vodka. She's 13. Can't believe she's drinking. I go further along. There's a packet of cigarettes. I can't believe it, she's smoking. And right at the back of the bed, and I'm laying on the floor now to get all the stuff out, right at the back there's a packet of condoms. I just can't believe it. She's got a penis. Well, when me and my husband first got together, I mean, you know, sex were wild. I know you young'uns find that difficult, but, you know, I were hot ones. And, you know, we'd rip each other's clothes off. I mean, back then I didn't have time to get the socks off. I mean, now I can knit a pair. And he said to me one night, he said, go to the fridge and get some out, we'll have some fun. I thought, I'll have some of that. I went to the fridge, I got a jar of piccalilli. Do you know it stings? But lots of things change as you go along. I mean, when I first met him, I couldn't fart in front of him. I used to go to the bathroom and I'd cough to cover the sound of the farts. I spent that much time in the bathroom that first year, he thought I had COPD. But now it's liberating. Now, you know, it's good for you, don't keep it in. And I went to my friend Darmajeet's the other night, we were having a curry and all the homemade food, and even as I were eating, I could feel it brewing. I could feel it brewing. And I thought, oh my God. So I gets in bed, and I'm wafting it and tucking it, and you know when they say you can't smell your own? They lie. It were rancid. Awful. I thought to myself, you know what, if me and my husband die peacefully one night, you know, we pass away and after we have done the school run for a couple of days, the kids miss us, we won't die from natural causes, we'll die from methane poisoning.